Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Let me close this door. Boom. See how that happens? But anyway, welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And gotta bring this to you all's attention when it comes to Tank Davis and Rolly Romero. Now, we know in another fight, Dillian White is extremely pissed off for whatever reason. Money split with Tyson Fury. But Rolly Romero, to me, he should be a little agitated because they're not giving him a chance in hell to defeat Tank Davis. And I think that's unfair to Rolly because this fight is more evenly matched up than what people think. I don't know why people think Rolly's just going to get, blasted out of there. True indeed. Tank hits hard. Tank can fight. Tank has probably the higher IQ. Tank has the amateur pedigree. On paper, Tank should win. I agree. But when you look at power, when you look at size, when you look at the fact that Rolly doesn't respect Tank, when you look at who Rolly has in his corner and on his team training him, you got to, and look at what he's done over 14 fights to those 12 opponents. You can't just sit there and think Tank's gonna, excuse me. Yeah, look, I thought I had another sneeze coming. I think Tank's gonna come in there and just murder this guy. Get out of here. Tank didn't do that to Isaac Cruz, did he? And Rolly's way more vicious than Isaac Cruz. And Rolly's way more disrespectful and physical. So Tank's gonna get thrown down in that fight. Tank's gonna get elbowed in that fight. He's gonna get a forearm put in his neck and face in that fight. These are things that are going to happen. That's how Rolly spars. That's how he fights. And he has this super awkward style you can't prepare for. And he's highly effective in it. Everything he does in that ring is done with a purpose. So I'm getting tired of people sitting here saying that Tank's just gonna wash him. I mean, if you take a look, right? Last year, when they were gonna fight before all the crap happened with Rolly and the girl saying whatever, all that crap. Tank opened up as a minus 950 betting favorite. That's total disrespect to Rolly. But I could see it at that time. This is after Santa Cruz. This is before Isaac Cruz. So you gotta, I'm talking about Leo Santa Cruz, okay? This was after the Leo Santa Cruz knockout, but before Isaac Pitbull Cruz, okay? So you can see coming off of that Santa Cruz fight, the way he, dipped and threw that uppercut, you can't help but think, man, he's out here knocking everybody out. He's gonna do that to Rolly. But then he meets someone who's half the size of Rolly, probably half the intensity. Now, Isaac Cruz is a pit bull, but he probably half the intensity and recklessness and just lack of respect for opponents as Rolly, and Tank had his hands full. I do think he still, managed to outbox him, but that fight was very close. And most of the shots Tank threw that looked like they were landing flush, they weren't landing flush at all. Cruz he had impeccable defense that fight. So now you talk about Rolly, and he's opened up right now. Man, what did I put on here, man? As a minus 909 favorite. So it's the same thing, slap in the face. And I just think people are going to be shocked. At least those who really don't know boxing or refuse to be fair in their opinion on Rolly and Tank. I think they're going to be shocked when Rolly knocks him out. I really think on paper now, on paper, Tank should win. But I just have a feeling that this boy is going to get Tank frustrated. Tank's going to start complaining. He's going to be looking at the ref. He's going to be doing all the things he shouldn't. And when he does that, Rolly's not going to stop and give him respect. Rolly's not that kind of fighter. He's going to pounce on him. I mean, violently pounce on him. And we're going to see, I think this is going to be the first fight where I think we see Tank would definitely get dropped. He may even get knocked out. But at the same time, you can say, if he lands on what's his name? I don't think he knocks Rolly out at all. I just don't think he can knock Rolly out. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think he can land some clean shots. I think he can get Rolly a little frustrated in there. But I just don't think Tank's going to knock him out. Now, I could be wrong, but I just looking at it, the size, the weight, natural weight, what they come back in the ring at, I don't believe there's a rehydration clause. what Rolly gonna come in the ring at, and the power and just the mentality for violence. Tank is a killer, don't get me wrong, but Rolly just he's gonna come in there, he's gonna wrestle, he's gonna MMA, he's gonna do the damn judo or taekwondo that he's a black belt in. He's gonna do any and everything he can. It's gonna be kind of like Maidana versus Mayweather. That when I talk about just no respect, that's the kind of mentality that Rolly has. But at the same time, Tank has sparred a lot of people. He's been in there with all kind of styles, and I'm sure with him and his team, they can make the adjustment. But I just think with so much emotion going on with Tank, I think Tank has all these legal issues on his mind now. See, those are things that Rolly had going on. Had they fought last year, Rolly would have had those things on his mind. But now he doesn't. But now Tank does. That affects you. And right before the fight, Tank has to go to court. So he's coming into the fight with that can either fuel him to a win or that can take away from his focus and jeopardize him getting the W. We'll see. But I think you definitely got to give Rolly Romero a little more respect. The guy Rolly Romero last fought, Rolly Romero stopped him. The only person that stopped him before that was Ivan Barancek. You know, that guy is a monster. He's proven not to have the best chin, but he gets in the ring with someone. If they can't hurt him, they're in trouble. Okay, and that guy was able to handle himself for the most part, but eventually, Barancek just got to him. And in the fight with Rolly, he was doing some good stuff, but Rolly's just so physical. He hits so hard, and he's so aggressive and relentless, and unless the ref stops him, he's not gonna stop. He's the kind of guy that will kick you. It's like, the mentality reminds me of is Hector Camacho, Roberto Duran, those kind of mentalities. Like, if the referee's not gonna say nothing and they can kick you, man, while you're down, they're gonna keep kicking you until the referee says something. That's the mentality those guys had when they were fighters. And that's kind of how Rolly is. If he can get away with pushing you against the ropes and leaning into you with his elbow in your throat, throwing you down or whatever, he's going to do it until he feels like, okay, the ref's going to take a point. And I think he's going to do it to Tank. I think he's going to treat Tank with no respect. Tank's going to have to try to earn that respect. And don't be surprised. And I really want to say it, don't be surprised. And also with Rolly, a lot of people are talking about he's a rapist. Knock it off. Knock it off. All that stuff, who knows what happened as far as that whole court case, but from what we know right now, it's over. He wasn't pressed with any charges. He's fine. That shit is a moot point as of right now. So stop saying it. That shit's not cool. That's like with Tank. Just wait and see how things play out in court. Stop talking so horrible about these young athletes, young men. Let's just wish the best for them. Okay. But Davis and Romero are going to be fighting on 28 May. It's going to be a Showtime pay-per-view event. Get that fire stick, I'm telling you. And I just look forward to it. Now, I'm not sure what the purses are. Someone knows what the purses are. Put that out there. I've been trying to find it. I keep seeing stuff like $2 million for Rolly, $8 million for Tank. But I can't confirm that. But I'd be curious to know what the pay is going to be, because we know that Tank's on his way out. And rumor is that, they really are looking to push for Rolly to be the face of Mayweather boxing because he's so marketable, because he's half black, half Cuban. He appeals to the black audience, appeals to the Hispanic audience. His marketability and his personality can make him almost an international star, from Hollywood to everything. This is what they're saying. But we'll just have to wait and see. He got a huge hill to climb with Tank Davis. And I think Tank has a huge hill to climb with him. It's not going to be as easy as what people are saying. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think it's almost like when Roy Jones went in there with, what's his name, the Jamaican, man. He fought Tarver, then after that he fought the Jamaican, man. I'm seeing his face. Glenn, I think his name was something Glenn. I can't remember, but anyway, he's fighting out of Miami. But that guy wasn't super athletic like Roy. But he had power, and he just didn't respect Glenn Johnson. And that's his name. He just didn't respect Roy Jones, and he went at him. Same thing with Roy Jones against Antonio Tarver. Tarver didn't respect him, and he got hit. He was getting hit. He was losing some rounds, But when he started closing the gap, it was all over. You know, Roy had trouble, and he was getting hurt. And I think that's going to be the same thing here. The thing is, I think Tank isn't at the end of his career. Tank isn't coming down from, 3 different weight divisions, to come down and melt muscle off to have this fight. So Tank should be no excuses with Tank. But the one thing Tank has going on that I think could really bother him is all this crap with these court cases. That's something that I wish he didn't have kind of hanging over his head. That way he'd have a clear mind and can go into that fight 100% confident. And we as fans can see the best Tank with no excuses. But that being said, that's all I have for these two. More to come. I'm looking forward to the fight on 28 May. Shout out to all the veterans. Shout out to everybody who supported me, man. More videos to come. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And as always, I'm in the breeze.